So I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. For me, everything was switched off, but it's a great time for reflection. And in this video, I want to do a little review about how eBay and the YouTube channel progressed in 2022 and my plans to turn this into £1,000 a month hobby in 2023. I have not been in the garage for a while. It is an absolute tip. Got to find somewhere to sit down first. Ian, the master of pieces, part-time eBay reseller here. This is going to have a little bit of a serious vibe, this video. It's going to be all about reflecting on where eBay and YouTube went for me last year against the goals that I set, and also what my targets are next year to grow both eBay and YouTube. For those of you new to the channel, I'm an eBay reseller. So I like to buy things secondhand from charity shops, boot sales, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere I can get my hands on it, and then sell it online for a profit. I've been doing this seriously for a couple of years now, but it's still very much a hobby. And I think it's a good time to just run through what I want to get out of this, my general values. First up, being a hobby, it's got to be fun. And I absolutely love doing this. Nothing better going into the shop, stumbling over that piece of treasure that you know is going to be worth a lot of money when you sell it on. Even better, you might stumble across something that will go into your collection. And I am a bit of a collector of all things retro toys, particularly Transformers. But fundamentally, the reason why I buy and sell things on eBay is because I love it and I really enjoy doing it. That is the heart of why I do this. The second main reason why I do this is to make money. And although I only do this part-time, I need to make this worth my while because I have reduced the hours that I do in my full-time job so that I can focus more on growing what I do on eBay. I work 4 days a week in full-time employment, and it means I have 1 day a week to hit the charity shops, find stock to resell. I also have my weekends where in the summer I can hit the boot sales, or if I want to, go to a few more charity shops and try and top my stock up that way. But because I do spend a fair amount of time on both eBay and YouTube, I need it to be worth my while. And I set myself a goal of trying to make £500 profit per month. And the third reason why I do this is I just love learning about new things. I like to be curious about things. So what that might mean is when I come across something I haven't seen before, I love to get deep into the research and learn everything there is about it. So tying all of those three aspects together, fun, make money, and being curious, I've found myself over the past couple of years deep diving into reselling toys, board games, and nostalgia. I do sometimes dip my toes into other niches. I might sell a few clothes, a few shoes, a bit of bric-a-brac here and there, but I certainly do not enjoy those markets as much as I do selling toys. But in order to get the most benefit out of eBay and YouTube, I always like to put a 12-month plan in place to keep myself focused and keep myself on track. So let's review how 2022 went against my plans. But for eBay, I only had one target in 2022, and that was to make £500 profit per month. It was certainly a step up from where I was before, but because I'd reduced my hours in work to really give it a go last year, I wanted to get something tangible back. So running through all of the numbers, on average, got it all written down in a little book here. On average, after eBay fees, I was bringing in about £1,300 per month. But there are still some bits you've got to take out of that to work out how much profit I was bringing in per month. So on average, my postage cost every month was about £400, and I would spend between £300 to £400 a month on stock, keep my eBay ticking over. Taking all of that into account, I have on average made about £500 to £600 per month profit, just over what I was targeting. Now some months I have made less than that. December I shut my shop off early, so I certainly haven't hit the target there, and there was 1 month in the summer where I turned my shop off for 2 weeks while I took the family on holiday. Didn't hit my target there. But there was a couple of months, particularly on the run up to Christmas, October and November, where I exceeded those expectations and covered December and that summer month's totals. So from a money perspective, hit my targets. What's also encouraging for me is most of that profit is made out of selling the things I love. Toys, games, nostalgia. And of those items, there's been lots of different price points. I've managed to sell some nice one-off individual pieces, but also some nice repeat listings as well. Spice Girl keyrings. But all in all, my shop has been diverse enough to attract lots of different people as well as repeat buyers. So I'm really pleased with how eBay has been. So my plan for 2023 with eBay is to grow it. Now, how am I going to grow what I'm already doing? The obvious answer is, well, buy more, sell more. But the obvious answer isn't the right answer for me, because buying more and selling more is going to take me more time. And because I do this as a hobby, it needs to fit in with all the other things that I do in my life as well. It's got to fit in with my family, my full-time job, and it's got to fit in with the other hobbies that I do. So I need to make this eBay world work in the time that I'm currently spending on it. So I need to get a little bit more creative. So rather than increase the number of sales, on average I make 3 to 4 sales a day. Rather than increasing that, what I want to focus on is decreasing the expenditure. Number 1, decreasing my postage cost. I have religiously used Royal Mail throughout the year, but with all the Royal Mail strikes, I have given every a test. And in general, I've been pretty impressed with their service. I've only lost one parcel, but I did actually check that the other day and it was delivered 5 weeks after I posted it. Technically not lost, but it took a heck of a lot of time to get there. So it would be wrong of me to judge every on that short trial window. I will be trialing every again next year. It's cheaper for the type of things that I sell. The drop-off points are a lot closer to me than the post office, and I can post my items at any time. I'm not restricted to the Royal Mail post office opening times. The second way that I want to increase profit is by reducing the amount of spend on stock. Let me pick you up, look. All of that table there, that is unlisted stock. That has cost me money. A lot of that stuff I haven't needed to buy when I bought it. One of the things that I have learned is that stock doesn't dry up, particularly the type of things that I sell and at the price points I'm selling that at. So rather than accumulating stock and a big death pile, if I'm a bit more leaner with that, still buying the same type of stuff, but reducing the quantity that I'm buying. I do need to be a little bit more careful here. It's got to be a little bit of a balance. You do need some death pile to kind of run off. There's always weeks where you might not find much in the charity shop, so it's good to be able to dip into things like that. But I don't need that volume. So from a numbers perspective, I could have made more profit last year if I hadn't bought some of that stuff. So that kind of goes on to the third point of how I'm going to make more profit. I need to be a bit more selective with what I buy and when I buy it. So you often hear the phrase buy higher quality items. But look, quality is different to different people. What a high quality item is for me is an item that's going to make me a lot of profit, but make that profit quickly. And what I need to focus next year more than ever is sell-through rate. To give you an example, my store currently has about 400 items listed on it at a time. I reckon half of those items I've probably had listed up for well over a year. The sell-through rate has been shocking. So if I've got 200 items ticking over every month, just repeating and repeating and repeating, that's costing me money as well. So if I can stop holding items up on my eBay store and actually sell them on, that will improve my numbers also. So the final way that I'm going to improve my numbers for eBay next year is to look after my old stock. It is something I am notoriously bad with. Once I've taken photos and listed it, put it in the boxes, that's it, forgotten about. I rarely change the prices, I rarely change anything. So what it means is you do get those items just hanging around on there. And that is no good for me, and it's no good for the numbers. But it's very easy to get into the process. Going outsourcing when you get home, list it. Go outsourcing, because that's the fun bit. Get home, list it. There is stock turning over and I'm bringing money in. But what would be good is to take the occasional break from the sourcing and listing and just tweak some of the stuff I've already got. It's not as if it's bad items. Some of this stuff has been up from last year. Posted up Christmas time when prices are high. So when those prices come down in the summer months, no one's even looking at it. It might have its day again the next Christmas, but you're condensing your sales window into only a couple of months. So as a recap, no drastic changes to what I do to my eBay, just a few tweaks here and there, and it will make my whole eBay process a lot more efficient. Let me just set you up about there. Bit more of a familiar location because now we're going to talk about YouTube. Let's take a snapshot. Today, 1 year ago. The channel was sat on about 2,500 subscribers. Average number of views per video, about 800-ish. Income-wise, YouTube was contributing £50 to £80 per month. On average, something like that. The main drivers for doing the YouTube channels, number one, I really enjoy doing this. Exactly the same as eBay, this is a hobby for me. I spend a fair amount of time doing YouTube, and it is because I do enjoy it. Secondly, I wouldn't do YouTube without eBay, and I wouldn't do eBay without YouTube. YouTube will always be a massive motivational tool. I need to be sourcing things regularly, selling things regularly, so I've got stuff to show you guys in my videos. I also do this to feel part of the community, and I've got to know loads of you guys and meet loads of you guys personally this year. Now, let's take a snapshot today. I'm just sat under 6,000 subscribers. The growth of the channel this year I had just not expected at all. It took me 18 months to hit about 2,500 subscribers. I've now over doubled my channel in 12 months, so thank you so much for your support. But what's also come with it is the views. Where my videos were getting about 800-ish average, the average view count has been slowly progressing throughout the year. And now my videos are getting between 3,000 and 4,000 views per video, which is fantastic. There's a couple of reasons I think this has happened. This year has been my first year filming at a proper car boot sale in the summer. Who doesn't love a car boot sale video? Those ones have been really popular, and that saw a massive ramp up in the amount of you guys that have found my channel and started to enjoy my channel. Secondly, there's a bit of rising tides lift all ships. Have a look at all the other YouTube resellers out there. A lot of people have climbed up as well. We've seen Chatty Pete burst onto the scene. He's flying, and I'm sure whenever you guys watch some of their videos, you might get notifications about mine too. Thirdly, I think I've just grown and developed as a reseller as well. I think I've found more interesting items this time round, more profitable items this time round. So the content is probably more valuable than what it was this time last year. So as well as the eBay side of things developing, making it more of an interesting watch, I'm spending more time on my videos improving the production quality. All of those things combined together, I think just makes the channel a bit more attractive. But this channel would be nowhere without you guys, so thanks so much for the support. So what are my plans going to be for next year? And it would be wrong for me at this point to not talk about the income that YouTube is generating for me at this point in time. So remember previously, this time last year, it was bringing in about 50 to 80 pounds per month, whereas my eBay was on about 400 to 500 pounds profit. YouTube as a contributor to my overall hobby income was about 10 to 15% compared to the 85 to 90% eBay. Now, over the past few months, my income from eBay has been 300 to 400 pounds. And as my eBay income has only increased to between 500 and 600 pounds, YouTube has got a higher percentage of that hobby income. In fact, it's what, 40% of it? So it would be silly of me to not put the time and effort to develop the income side of YouTube, as it is now comparable to what I'm bringing in from eBay. So I've purposely not tried to target a monthly income from eBay. Remember before, £500 a month? This time round, I want a combined income of eBay and YouTube, £1,000 a month. And that will require both the eBay revenue and the YouTube revenue increasing to deliver that result. So how am I going to improve exposure of my YouTube channel? If I'm totally honest with you, I'm not going to change too much. YouTube gives you so many stats and information behind the screen. It gives me a graph of the growth of the channel, and it's still on a progressive upward gradient. So that's telling me in the short term, I don't need to drastically change too much. There's some extra bits I'm going to do as well. I want to keep this channel a lot more consistent. So in that graph, there have been plateaus, and that is down to me not uploading regularly enough. I need to make sure that I'm doing at least one video a week. And when the boot sale season comes around, naturally that lends itself to 2 videos a week. One covering boot sales at the weekend, the other covering charity shops in the week. And secondly, just a few minor adjustments around quality. I am getting to grips with editing now, and I'm a lot quicker at doing it, which means I can be a bit more ambitious with the editing. I might try and do things with improving the sound quality in here, might get some better lighting in here. We'll see how things go. But fundamentally, things won't change too much. I'm still going to be doing YouTube for the reasons why I started it in the first place. Enjoyment, eBay motivation, and engagement in the community. But where YouTube comes in for income now has to be a factor. Another thing I've been playing with just over the Christmas break is YouTube Shorts. And you know what? I really enjoy doing them. It gives a real quick snapshot of what I'm doing on that day, and it would be great if I could get a daily Shorts upload as well. Now don't get me wrong, I don't make any money off of the Shorts, but it does expose me to a different demographic. So for my longer, regular YouTube videos, the age range of the people watching is typically 35 to about 55 to 60. When I look at the analysis of the Shorts video, it's all about 10 years younger. and that gives me a good chance to grow the Master of Pieces community. And one of the things that certainly won't change is I cannot wait to share with you my eBay reselling progress through 2023. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it is a bit long and a bit rambly, but it's an important one for me to film so I can look back at it this time next year to see where I was compared to where I am then. Guys, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm still on holiday mode. The shop comes back active on 5th of January, sometime like that. So we'll get back to the usual eBay reselling videos then. Have a top new year. See you in 2023.